total yards for New York. Smith. Oh, he loses the ball! Buffalo's got it. Manny Lawson. Kyle Williams knocked it free. Second and long. Smith to throw it. Wobbly throw. It's intercepted. Picked off by Byrd.
I made a mistake. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Stephen Hill, the motion man. Smith to throw it. Intercepted by Byrd. Jairus Byrd. He looked like the receiver on that play.
I made a mistake. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Oh! Intercepted! Picked out of midair! Norris Searcy! Touchdown, Bills!
I made a mistake. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
It's just bad, man. The way I can sum up this game, for myself, it's awful.
Poor Gino.
Poor Gino, he made a ton of mistakes. That's for sure. 4 total turnovers, and the inconsistent New York Jets looked awful. Oh,
Bob Marley said it best right there.
wow, he made some mistakes, man. Whew.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean, you can't get any worse than that.
here's a team. You go into this game pretty much controlling. I'm looking long
Controlling
run.
your own destiny.
Exactly, controlling your own destiny, and you mess it up so quickly, so easily. I mean, I know Jets fans were probably pretty excited in the first quarter. That quarter ended 0-0. Wow, we're still in it. We're in it. We're gonna win this one. We're gonna beat the only true New York team. Then the second quarter comes along, and so do the turnovers. The Bills outscored the Jets 20-0 in that second quarter. Two of Gino's 4 turnovers came in that quarter, resulting in 10 points from Buffalo. I mean, awful.
That's the best
awful.
way. That's the best way you can describe it, is awful. And the Jets should be really disappointed, really disgusted at themselves, because coming off these wins that they've had against New England and New Orleans, they've really shown promise. But after putting out a performance like this, I mean,
Come on, man.
what are you doing? Like,
The streak continues of win one, lose one.
the most inconsistent team in the NFL
I mean,
are the New York Jets.
they couldn't convert on the third down. They were 2-11 for the game. What bothered me the most was the fact that they fell behind so quickly because of the turnovers. But I mean, you go into this game, you know the weather is going to be bad. It was windy over there in Buffalo. It was
It wasn't
really
as bad
windy.
as Chicago, so they should not complain.
It wasn't as bad, but still, nonetheless, very windy.
Right.
Why did they not feed Chris Ivory the ball as much as they should have? I mean, this kid ran so well and has been, but it's so inconsistent. One game he'll get 30 carries,
Yeah,
the
but
next he'll get 6. I mean,
That's the reason why Chris Ivory's been inconsistent, because he doesn't get any consistent amount of touches.
he had 15 carries for 98 yards and a touchdown. They should have
Poor
kept
coaching.
He should have had at least 25 to 30 carries in that game.
Right. It's just poor coaching. That's what I come out down to it.
And then they fell behind so fast. They had no choice but to have Geno Smith throw the ball, and obviously we all know how that went.
I mean, I can't even think of a positive from this game. I'm trying to right now. I cannot think of one positive that came out of this game for the Jets.
I mean,
Maybe the positive that it's a possibility that they can take out of this game is that they now know that you have to run the ball.
I mean, the only actual positive may be that, again, they were able to stop the run, but big deal.
Whoa, whoop-de-doo. I mean,
They got demolished.
Still gave up 37 points.
They gave up 37 points. Geno Smith, I mean,
37-14 they lost.
you're
I'm
10.
surprised they got 14 points.
You're 10. Matt Sims.
Sims.
He was one touchdown, and Chris Ivory. But you're 10 games in. You're a rookie quarterback in the NFL. All right, 10 games in. These mistakes need to come to an end. 10 games in is a lot different than your first 4 or 5. You need to start developing, and he hasn't developed.
Yeah, but I mean, I think we're as far as rookie quarterback. I don't know if 10 games in, rookie quarterback all of a sudden has to be the star.
He doesn't need to be a star, but he needs to be. He needs to show poise. He needs to be on a weekly basis, not this inconsistent. One week he looks great, another week he can't do anything.
I think we've been spoiled, to be honest, with these new incoming rookie quarterbacks that have just made an impact from the first time they stepped on the field. I mean, it does take some time to develop as a quarterback in the NFL. You're not going to get You're not going to make Geno Smith become Brett Favre on one game. I mean,
No, of course not. But I mean, the inconsistency
he's
is
very inconsistent. Yeah, and
is the biggest problem.
He's turning the ball over. He has some talent. I'm not going to say he doesn't have talent, but he's very inconsistent the way he handles the ball, and I think that that needs to be polished in practice. I think that
I think he needs a lot of practice because this isn't his first bad game. It's been several bad games now.
Right, and the way most people say the way you fix that is just more gaming.
Here we go. We have a Buffalo Bills fan, right? Rep that New York jersey, Cam.
Cam Woods.
Cam Woods.
He ran away.
He ran away. Maybe he's listening in Quiznos right now. Let's go Bills. Let's go.
There you go. He ran off.
But no, Geno Smith.
Jeff fans get him.
Geno Smith. Listen to this stat. Points.
Great. Can't wait for this.
Oh, it's gonna really show you how awful he's been. 0.7 total QBR on Sunday was the worst one-game rating this season, and it was his league's high 4th game with a total QBR below 10 this season.
Wow.
4th.
That's terrible.
4th. So 4 out of your 10 games, you've had a total QBR below 10.
And
that.
Why Jeff fans think he's the savior? I don't know.
That. I don't even. What's a better word than awful? That's atrocious.
Yeah.
I mean,
the worst word. Yeah, but the word.
It comes down to he needs to begin to develop, and he really hasn't. And going into the season, here's the thing: what I don't understand is they've probably already exceeded in somewhat their preseason hopes with their 5 wins, because going into the year they looked awful. No one expected.
I thought the Giants were going to be the way the Jets were this year as far as win-loss record, and I felt the way the Jets were going to be the team that started out at 0-6. I thought the Jets were going to be terrible.
Exactly. So they exceeded a lot of people's expectations early with the way they've been playing. But they were never slated to be this playoff team or even like a Super Bowl team. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
There's no way
They were never expected that way.
Right.
They weren't even expected a playoff team for many people.
Right.
So what I don't understand is I think it's time that Geno Smith sits down on the bench for a game or two.
I don't know about that.
Absolutely.
Don't do that.
You have nothing to lose by throwing in Matt Sims. Why don't you do it?
You have something to lose.
What do you have to lose?
You have to lose a playoff spot.
Well, they're already blowing that one away.
Well, I mean, you think Matt Sims is going to do a better job than Geno Smith?
I don't know, because I've only seen this kid come in during garbage time when Geno Smith can't do anything. That's the only time we've seen Matt Sims come in, is when Geno Smith has played absolutely horrible.
I don't think you should do that at all.
Why not? What you tell me what the Jets have to lose?
Because you've already won this amount of games with Geno Smith already. You're just going to give up on him because he had a bad game?
You're not giving up on him.
Then what are you doing? You're benching him.
You're benching him, and you're sending him a message that he can easily lose his job if he doesn't begin to improve. That's what you're telling me.
So who do the Jets play next week?
At Baltimore.
And you're going to bench him at Baltimore. And who does they play after Baltimore?
After that, I'm not too sure.
The defending champs.
Who aren't playing like defending champs,
Right, they're
so
a different
please.
team than the defending champs.
I mean, still, you need to send Geno the message
I don't know if you should do that.
Why not?
I
Why
don't
not?
know if you should do that.
You need to send him the message to realize, that he could lose his job at any time. The same way Sanchez was given the message.
He did get benched yesterday, Joe.
I mean, yeah, he got benched for a big deal quarter because they didn't want him to throw 6 interceptions. I mean,
right.
I mean, they have they're at Baltimore, then versus Miami, versus Oakland, at Carolina, versus Cleveland, at Miami. That's how they end off the season. They'll probably. I mean, I don't even know.
I still think they can make the playoffs. I mean, San Diego's a tough team though, and
I mean, I don't know. San Diego did lose yesterday.
I know, but I think they're better than the Jets. San Diego.
I think they need to send the message to Geno Smith.
All right. Well, I mean, you can bench him, but if you
let
lose,
him know.
I think Geno Smith gives you the better opportunity to win than Matt Sims. But
how do you know?
I don't know.
You don't know because we've never seen Matt Sims play from the beginning to the end. We've seen him come in when Geno Smith has turned the ball over 4+ times.
Well, how many times has he played this season, Matt Sims?
I
Was
think
this his first game?
I think this was his second game that he came in. I think. I'm not 100% sure. But you're never going to know what this kid has if you just keep him on the bench. Or to come in on garbage time when the game's way over. All right. Defenses are going to play cover 2, prevent defense. They're going to give you everything in front. And, yeah, he's going to score one. Yeah, he came in against Cincinnati when they lost 49-9.
Right.
And now he comes in against Buffalo when they lose 37-14. I mean, I think you got to give this kid a shot.
Well, if Geno Smith is your future, then
How do you know that?
This is
you're
what they're
sold?
I don't know that, but this organization thinks so.
I don't think they should be sold on Geno Smith
Then-
as their future quarterback.
Right.
I don't think so.
I don't think he's gonna get benched for next week. I think he's gonna start next week. There hasn't been any talk that he's gonna get benched.
There hasn't been, but it comes a point where
So you think
they got to be thinking, why not give Matt Sims a shot? They got to be.
I think so too. In the preseason, I thought Matt Sims looked terrific. I said that he looked very good in preseason. Again, it's preseason. Preseason doesn't really say anything, but
because I mean he's going up against preseason defenses. But
right.
This is his 4th game with a total QBR below 10. 4th. 4 out of 10.
Look, I don't think Geno Smith is anything special. I don't think he's an average quarterback. I think he's a below average quarterback, to be honest. But I don't think that the Jets are going to go anywhere regardless of who. I think they can make the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to I think they'll lose in the first round of the playoffs. Regardless of what they do with the
regardless
quarterback
whether you make the playoffs, you get eliminated in the first round, they don't make the playoffs, I think it's time to send some type of a message and let this kid know, hey, if you don't pick up your production, if you don't start to improve now, you'll be on the bench because we can't
be the backup quarterback.
We can't continue to be this inconsistent when we in essence control our own destiny.
Right, and also they didn't do that with Mark. That's where they failed with Mark Sanchez, and Mark Sanchez really started to flounder as the quarterback, but they really had no other choice to start him. Who else was their backup? 55-year-old Mark Brunell?
Well, exactly, and now they have the opportunity. They have a young kid in
Sims.
He's been in the league for 1 year.
You have a good point.
You don't know what you have in him, and you won't know until you let him play. And I think he deserves somewhat of a shot because of how poorly Smith has been playing.
You have a good point, but Geno Smith might have his but his confidence might take a hit, and maybe it might do him more harm than good.
I mean, we'll see, but I mean,
it's a tough situation.
It's very tough. I don't even know what to say. What more to say? Obviously, you could tell. I think it's time Matt Sims goes in.
Yes, Joe, I can tell.
You can tell.
It's pretty obvious and evident that you want Matt Sims to play.
I don't understand.
All right, so what's the results for next week? What do you think? Jets at Baltimore. Baltimore's 4-6. They have no running game. The Jets just really don't have anything besides a good defense.
Baltimore's 4-6. They're starting to play better. Yesterday's game.
Ray Rice finally got his longest run of the season. He had a 42-yard run yesterday, the longest run of the season.
Yeah, Ray Rice finally, man. That helped me out in fantasy. That's for sure.
So what do you think?
What do I think?
What do you got?
I don't think this streak continues of win one, lose one. I really don't.
Another loss?
I think they're gonna get another loss.
I think another loss as well.
I mean,
I don't think it's as big as this one, but I think it's gonna be not a blowout, but I think it's a well.
I mean, here's how
good
I look at it. The Ravens just won against. No, they lost against Chicago. So I mean, this is their season. At 4-6, this could be their season.
Right.
So.
And I think this might be the start of the demise for the Jets.
I mean, I think It's going to be a tough matchup. Ed Reed against his first team, not his old team because he played with the Texans, but
First team.
yeah, his
And
first
his
team.
his most known team, Baltimore Ravens, where he has all the success. And I think Ed Reed's done, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I think they just brought him in, help the young guys.
Help the young
get
guys.
Some burn. He's familiar with the defense.
Get some. The Jets. Never forget about this about the Jets. The Jets will do anything to get the back pages.
And to make sure that someone doesn't go to New England because it was either the Jets or New England. So
Exactly. Well, that's a good strategy.
of course, but
But the other one, I think, is just stupid. That's why they got Tebow. But that's a whole nother topic.
going back, I think this for both teams could essence be their season.
Right.
Whoever wants to make the playoffs, I think Baltimore will be able to pull this off, and the Jets will end that win one lose one streak.
Right. So we got the Ravens winning next week.
Ravens.
Ravens. I agree with Joe. A significant win for the Baltimore Ravens. All right, we're going to take another break. We'll have the update, and we'll get into around the NFL and maybe a little basketball. So we'll be right back.